Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing another mini album video with you. This is another album for the woman that attended my scrapbooking class that I taught at the library. So I initially planned to make a scrapbook with photos that she sent to me of a visit with her family over the summer, and I meant to finish it by August 1st at the latest, but moving into our home took a lot longer than we expected with the flooring issues and everything else that was going on. So I now at the end of October still have not sent them to her, but I wanted to make her a little something extra since it took me so long to get it out to her. So I am using some items from my December daily last year and some new things too, and some other things from different collections to try to make a holiday themed scrapbook for her. So that way, if she gets to visit her family, whether it be for Christmas or sometime in the winter, this is not Christmas specific, though it is, a little bit Christmassy. So I'm using mostly Crate Paper Snow and Cocoa line because that's what I used for my album mostly last year. But I also had a lot of other little things that were in coordinating colors that I used in my own album, left over, and old messy box cards and things from a Project Life kit that a pen pal got me, and all kinds of things. So I'm just mixing and matching all of my Christmassy sort of items together to make her a little flip scrapbook. And I wanted to make it kind of made up of tags, but not completely. But I do want it to flip vertically because most of the time I do a horizontal flip, and I just thought that would be really fun this time. So I am cutting down some cards and some existing tags and cut apart pages and all kinds of things into about a 3x4 size. Some of them are a little bit bigger, and some of them I glue a couple pieces together just to make some interesting shapes. I think it's kind of nice if they're not all the same because then it's a little more interesting as you're flipping through. And I am picking the sides that I like and then matting them together. And you can see some of these Project Life cards with rounded corners. I'm mounting sort of diagonally on a normal card just to kind of give it a little bit more texture than it had before. I like it when these albums are really, really tactile so that you want to, touch them, play with them, pull the little notes out. Shaker pockets are really fun, ribbons and other three-dimensional elements. I just want it to be something that you just really want to flip through, and especially if she's able to fill it with pictures of a visit with her family this winter, her grandchildren might want to flip through it as well. And so I wanted this to be really fun, really versatile, so that she could choose to do it however she wanted. So I'm just kind of going through and deciding which pages I want next to each other and how I want it to flip. I'm deciding that I need just one more sheet to add to this. So I'm cutting another piece of the really colorful sort of sweatery pattern for the back of the album. And I'm adding this 3x3 card as well because I have a lot of those in my stash and they are the perfect colors to go together. So now I'm just making sure I know that they're flipping the right direction and I know where I want to punch the hole when I put the jump ring on. It's good to plan those things out as much as possible before you glue or punch holes. It's not the end of the world if something's slightly askew. I think I have one page in here that the pattern is technically upside down, but it's really not a big deal. But it is nice to plan ahead, try to keep that from happening. I have lots of cats walking at my table. So I'm just going through and adding some ephemera and stickers and things like that, mostly again from Snow and Cocoa. And I'm using my Zig glue pen to kind of help adhere different items together. And my normal strategy for this is to try to make one page busy in one page with a little bit of a blank, so that way there could be a picture or journaling there. And I like to try to add a three-dimensional element to every page. Since I'm not adding the photos in this album for her, I'm trying to leave some empty spots, but I'm also going to glue some things down partially, so that way there's like almost a little pocket or a little edge that you could slip a photo into and glue it down. I'm trying to kind of leave it open-ended so she can do whatever ends up working for her with the rest of this. So I'm just going through adding ephemera and stickers. Again, trying to make sure there's something three-dimensional everywhere. So this ornament, I just glued down the edges, so that way it's like a little pocket you could slip a photo into, or she could glue it down when she finishes her final selection of pictures. Also, some of these pieces are not actually cards or paper. They're from the ephemera pack, and they were bigger, like this Snow Mountain card, and so I just thought, why not go ahead and include those? They're really pretty colors. They've got fun details on them. I just like how they look. So here I'm adding a piece of ephemera, and again, just leaving a little pocket. This is the one page that does end up being upside down, which is too bad, but you know, not the end of the world. I'm considering gluing this card onto the tag to kind of cover it up a little bit, but I don't end up doing that. A couple of these cards have lines for journaling, so I just put something in the bottom corner to make it look interesting, but there's still lots of room there for journaling or a picture if she decides she doesn't feel like journaling. I'm adding some ephemera to this one, and I actually have a piece of adhesive that's kind of hanging off the edge of the ephemera, and it's too late to get it off, so I end up just adding a little embellishment over it, so that way the pages don't stick together in the album. And so I use one of these thread bows from Maggie Holmes Willow Lane. And I think they're really cute. The pink color is perfect for the colors in this Snow and Cocoa kit. All of the black and silver and anything with foil, like this ornament that you see me using, are from the Project Life kit that should just still be available at craft stores. It's just a holiday themed kit. And now I'm just trying to decide what I want to do to the back of this album, and I add this Mittens ephemera card to the back, and I have it going the other direction because I want the back and front to each kind of be like a cover facing the same direction, if that makes sense. So now I'm coming back with some three-dimensional elements now that I have kind of got my base going. I've got the chipboard sticker sheet, so I'm adding that to the front, and I'm not going to add too many of those to the middle because they are really, really chunky. But I am going to use puffy stickers and little enamel dots and things like that to try to add some dimension. I want to add the snowman to this tag, but it's a little bit hard to see, and I don't have my paint at our new house yet, so I actually end up using my White Stays on Ink pad, which did not last very long. The plastic piece was sticking to the top of the ink pad and ripped part of the ink pad when I took it off, so it's taking me a minute here. I'm struggling with it, but it comes with this little container of ink so you can add more to it. So I add it and scrape it on with the little scraper, and then I'm using this stencil from Echo Park that's meant to look like snow. And I actually kind of wanted the reverse of what I got, so I end up just kind of smearing it around a little bit with the leftover ink, and then I let it dry so that way it's just a little bit, it'll be a little bit more of a contrast to that snowman. On this card here, it doesn't quite reach the top and bottom, so I'm adding this tree washi tape, which is from Paper Source last year, so I don't think it'll be available anymore. But I'm really glad I bought those because I just love all the colors. The non-traditional colors are really fun there. The one at the top here is another pocket for a photo. And yeah, just kind of going through, trimming up a few edges and trying to figure out where to add a little bit of texture. in that joy spot there at the top is also a pocket for a photo or for whatever she wants. And I added more washi tape to the bottom one, and then this reindeer puffy sticker also. The reindeer are my favorite. I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to give them away, but that's so silly. So my ink is still not quite dry, so I'm going to keep adding texture. I added another chipboard piece to the back since it's not going to be as big of a deal if it's bulky on the covers. And I am adding some glitter tree washi tape to the bottom of this tag because when I cut it into a tag it didn't look centered anymore, and that really bothered me, but I think that the trees really help. I'm adding these snow puffy stickers to this little snowman here, and just, yeah, as I always do, continuing to flip through all of these. And I'm realizing that there are a couple of things that I need to run upstairs and grab because most of my craft things are upstairs and I was filming downstairs. So I'm going to do a quick flip of these and then I'm going to run upstairs and grab a few items. I love making these mini albums because it's a fun gift for people, but also it's a great way to use up little pieces of your stash. Otherwise, I feel like it just sits around, and collects dust, and so this is way more fun, especially if it makes her smile, makes her grandchildren smile, makes anyone smile, even if she gives it away to someone else. I think it's just such a nice use of basically scraps, and when you're done, it does not look like scraps. You end up with a really nice finished product and a really fun small album for your memories to look back on. So I am about to run upstairs and get those items, and I'm still waiting on that ink to dry. It's just not drying very quickly. I also have these mason jar pockets that came in the Snow and Cocoa collection, and there's a little girl that you can kind of like push into the pocket. It looks like she's in the snow globe, which is really cute. So I punched a hole in that, and I just had to use my scissors to get her all the way in, but I think it worked out really well. The ink is dry now, so I've added my snowman and some enamel dots. I'm not sure where I want to put my little snow globe, but I've now added some washi tape that was upstairs in my drawer. It's a little bit more solid than the other ones that I had around, and it kind of breaks up the pink there at the bottom. I like that green color a lot. And I'm also adding some scraps of a gold ribbon to this tag that's in this pocket, and this is from Maggie Holmes' Willow Lane collection, but the colors were perfect to go with this, so I added it there, and it's a small piece of ribbon, so I just tiny attach it together so that way it won't come apart. And I'm also adding the other half of that ribbon to this little tag, and I am not sure where that tag came from, but I've been holding on to it for a couple years because I just thought it was really cute and I knew I'd be able to use it eventually. So now I'm going to punch my holes. I'm still kind of getting used to my new Crop-A-Dile punch, so there's some trial and error. But I'm also trying to figure out where I want to put that little mason jar pocket, and also just making sure I have everything in the order that I want it to be in. I'm also realizing I don't have as many blank sections as I usually do, and so I'm adding a few more tags from the ephemera pack, and they're fairly large, so you could put small photos on there for sure. But I'm adding those and not putting anything on the back, so that leaves one or even two if she wants to cover up any of the tags. More spots that she could put pictures or journaling. Obviously this can also be added to, there's room on the jump ring that she could add several more pages or pictures that aren't on a page or whatever she wants to do. That's kind of the beauty of these. So yeah, I'm just punching my holes, and it takes a little bit of time. Eventually I will hopefully become a pro the Crop-A-Dile. It's still way, way, way better than my whole bunch that did not work, so I'm not complaining. Now I'm just trying to make sure I know which direction these go once they're on the jump ring. And I'm really liking how this is turning out. It's a really good use of supplies, like I said, and also it's just a lot of fun to play with. There are a lot of moving pieces, places to tuck things, little pockets, ribbons. Yeah, it's just really fun to play with, so I hope that she enjoys it. So now I'm just checking one more time, and I'm realizing I put a few things in backwards, so I'm flipping them around to make sure they're all going the correct direction. And I also add one more piece of ephemera for a blank page, so that way she can add more photos if she wants to. And I'm also adding little scraps of paper in these little corners that I've left open, so that way she knows where those little pockets are. And if she wants to keep the paper there, then it looks fine. But if she wants to tuck a photo in or whatever, it just makes it more obvious for her. I'm just gluing down a couple of things and doing a last flip. So I've added a pom-pom ribbon to the top of the album, and I really like how it looks, and it's so much fun to play with. So I really hope that she enjoys this. I had a lot of fun making it for her. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Thanks for watching. Bye.